Hey guys, and welcome to another streaming session that I'm having. Now, in this stream, I wanted to start off with a little comment. This is archived in YouTube and will be released and available to the public and things. So, if you see this either on YouTube or you see this on Twitch, thank you very much for your time. But in this one, I believe we have a small viewpoint that we should discuss because this is very, very important in your current and future games. I mean, like right now, you're probably going into your game. You're like, well, what could we possibly do right now that would be beneficial to you? And maybe you're in the advanced stages of your game and you need advice on why you're rocking a 700 to a 900 Nvidia card or the equivalent, and you still have very crummy frame rate. But you look, and if you don't know, there is a tab in here where you can profile certain things. And maybe in this tab, you're seeing nothing but rendering. Your scripts are all the way down here. I don't know if it'll do it in this for this yet, but okay, you've got all this. You turn your rendering off. It's pretty easy. Your Vsync, very easy. And you see all these spikes. Each spike is a specific thing that is processing behaviors, scripts. You can turn these off, okay? Very easy and debug for CPU usage. Now, let's say this is all you see. This would actually be really good for rendering. This is great, okay? But let's say you're like a lot higher and you're in a desktop game and like I said, you're rocking a 700 to a 900 Nvidia or better or whatever, and your frame rate's still really bad because your rendering's like right up here. Okay? The reason for it, and this is a common thing for people, is they'll have in their texture thing, they'll have, well, let's go back into the game world. Let's just do a cube, okay? And you're over here in these materials. You'll have like 5 different materials, okay? And this is a very important thing, and it also um, explains why we do textures the way we do for characters and a lot of other things, okay? And this is kind of important. I mean, to certain guys, they know it, and other ones, they, just do it automatically. And then your scripts are this way, which debugging, CPU wise, that's cool. Physics, that would be great. If this was a shooter and your physics was like this way, that would be great. Okay? Then you got your garbage collection, which you always got to be about, and that's a later episode where we'll be discussing that. Okay? And then you got your VSync, which that's always kind of there. It's to synchronize so you don't go out. And this, I believe, is for light mapping and stuff. And I don't know what the other means. The GI. But this is on your CPU end, okay? Which, that's cool. But then you got your rendering, okay? And then you got your batches. Batches are good. that means it's been put together with a lot of other things. And we'll explain what that. And then your set calls, I believe that's every time you call up something. And then your triangle count and your vertices. Okay? Which is very important. And if you want to know more about that, I am cooperating with another YouTuber. I forget his name. Well, actually, I can't pronounce his name because it's like Neo something. Oh, if this gets to YouTube, I will put a link to his channel. And the thing about him is he has a lot of tutorials on modeling things and textures and all the cool stuff that you guys are probably wanting to know right now. Okay? So in the end, that video will be great, and I'll see if I can get him to explain more about vertices and other stuff like that in your modeling, because he's got one for characters. So that would be a great time to explain stuff like that. And, you know, that's kind of his department in this tutorial series that we're putting together for you guys. So I would appreciate it if you guys, when you see this on YouTube, to give him a shout out, you know, if you got questions about the model thing, because he'll be able to answer your questions a lot better, because he's got a lot of Blender tutorials and things, and that's kind of his like area. Mine's more of a scripting style, which we've done mostly C right here, but Unity does have a different scripting style. Okay, there is another style that they also do, which, if you know about it, is a JavaScript. Now, Unity has an integration for their APIs for other things. Okay, so it is, you know, kind of that way. Okay, and it will not conflict if you name it to one version of the script, let's say in Java, versus the other one is in C#. You can name it the same thing, it's fine. Okay, just don't even worry about it. Okay, and for the most part, they have a lot of the same parameters and things like that. But there is key things about Java that I do want you guys to realize. Okay, because there is great things about it as well. Okay. Now let's go into the scripting API in here. Classes, okay? Because this is something that you're going to look at a lot in Unity, but you may not know what it actually means, okay? As per cases and things like that. Alright, so in your scripting API, if you want, let's say, let's go to the animator. Okay, and they give you all this good stuff, and we go over to, well, it is like almost 1 o'clock in the morning here, and I've been doing stuff all day. But what would be no, this one would be a little difficult to understand if you don't know what it is. Let's pick an easy one. Let's pick an easy one. Easy. Oh, everybody has experience with inputs. Input manager and stuff like that. Now, the C# version would look something like this, correct? Well, they also have this little tab up here for JavaScript, okay? And if you look, it's pretty similar. Public, they call it a function instead of a void, and then an update. Okay, which, you know, that's to be expected. It's going from one language to the next. So in this case, we also want to, let's do a location. No, it wouldn't be a location. Let's do something really easy here so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, physics. Physics you'll work with a lot. So this API will be really great for you to learn. Okay. Now in this jargon right here, this big old batch, this actually tells you a lot more than you think. Okay. Let's not do a box. Let's do a physics raycast. You'll do raycasting a lot. Let's do raycast. Okay, raycast. Now this will actually tell you a lot. Okay, and in here it will actually tell you what it actually is. You just have to be able to interpret it. That's the biggest key thing. Now, if you're used to C sharp, there's a C sharp, but it'll say a public static bool. And you know, when it comes to raycasting, you got your origin, which is your vector 3, because we're going in a direction and things. Yeah, that sounds legit. So you have to have your starting point, and then you have to have your direction, okay, which is the way you're going. Well, max distance, well, that's pretty alright, which is a float. We're used to floats. And then it has the equals, math F, and this layer mask thing. We haven't done anything with layer mask. I've done it for tutorial sakes. It's to, if you're used to Photoshop layering, that's pretty much what it is. Okay, you can mask out certain layers where the physics engine will ignore. So this ray could go completely through people and everything else, but only hit boxes, okay, or hit everything. I mean, it's pretty simple. Take this. We've got a camera, okay, and we want it to, this calling mask, same thing. It's like a layer mask, all right? So you want to call nothing. Well, what? Not do the UI? Really? Interesting. Does the UI stay in a layer where it cannot be unrendered? That is interesting. Well, this will be a good one. See how there's a little eyeball right here next to the lock? You can lock it where it's permanently there. But if you click this eye in the scene view, you can no longer see this. Okay? Which is fine. That may be something you want. But if you go up here, you put the eye back here, well, you can see this big old thing right here, and it works. Okay? That's basically what layer masks are for raycasting. Okay? Which is, you know, no big deal, right? So, we've got that out of the way, and we know what that is. So let's talk about this camera. Okay? We've got this camera, and there's this big old funnel thing. Let's take that off because that's rather annoying. Okay. Well, this big old funnel thing for our camera that goes from here, and it's like a pyramid coming out of our head. That is what the camera is rendering all the time. And the reason why I bring this up is, remember how we went to all these, the cube, and it has a material? Well, every time you do a material and it's not something that's like, how can I put this? Like this cube. Let's take this cube. Cube, it's all the same. Well, in the rendering system, if we just went and go Control D, this will render really well, okay? Just because it's all a cube. The video card will recognize it, and the system is smart enough that it will throw all our 12 cubes, because it starts with nothing and it goes down.